I'm here with Bo Hinch. He is the founder of L.A.R.K.S Airfield. He turns 86 today. Happy birthday, Mr. Bo.
Thank
He's a lifelong problem solver, and I got some questions for him. Would you tell me the story about you flying in the cow pasture?
Well, when I first started flying model airplanes, they were U controlled. And we would go to the sit go park where the grass was kind of smooth and you go round and round in circles. Eventually, I met a guy that was flying uh, RC, single channel, rudder only. Name was Charlie Staten. He lived in Westlake. Actually, Charlie is one of our original charter club members. And back then, RC was very, very unknown, but I was intrigued in flying a model airplane and or any kind of airplane. So I lived on what is now Dave Dugas Road East, which is east of 27th. And right down the road, probably about a half mile, there was a several hundred acre cow pasture. And I'd go out there, of course, you had to handle off the airplane. Cow patties, grass, and everything else. There's no way you could take it off. Flying single channel, rudder only. No throttle, no elevator, no aileron. That went on for several years. And eventually, all that progressed to proportional multi-channel. By that time, I had acquired this 20 acres where we sit here right now. And my dream was to be able to have a place I could go fly, not have to chase cows out of the way, not have to watch where you walk, not walking in the cow patties, not having to fight grass and weeds that was 3 and 4 foot tall. So I made a deal with the club. I own this 20 acres, recently acquired it. You pick the spot where the club would like to fly, and I'll build my operations around it. And they chose this spot right here, northeast corner of my property. So we built a road, and actually we had the field was sorghum, 20 acres of sorghum. I dished it up, leveled it out. We had some dirt runway to begin with, and second year, I think it was, maybe the third year, I talked to the parish. I had a friend that was a police juryman. His name was Neg Biglis, which Biglis Parkway is named after.
And what year was that?
I think it was in 72,
Okay.
1972. And my idea was the parish sponsored boat launches, golf courses, and what have you. Why not sponsor a model airport? So I was appointed to talk to the parish, and of course the club said, if they donate $3,000 or $4,000, we might could build us a little hard surface runway. I said, well, my daddy always said, when you ask him for something, you ask for a Cadillac and then you settle for a Model 8. So I approached him about making uh, us a $16,000, not a loan, but an investment. And of course, the way that had to happen was I had to lease the property to the parish. So that first year, we did get $16,000. We poured our first concrete runway and we poured a slab for the clubhouse. City Service donated a lot of the materials for the clubhouse, a lot of the iron that's used in the Canton area. And as time went on, I think in 1973, when we had the first nationals here, AMA nationals, that was a year after the Navy quit doing it. It was a big thing. Our club brought millions of dollars into the economy in Southwest Louisiana for a week. We also had the first non-official helicopter event held in Lake Charles. They liked it. AMA liked it so much. We had a guy that worked for the city of Lake Charles. His name was Larry Moeller, and he actually wound up going to work for the AMA as a PR man. So they want to come back the second year for a 2 week AMA national event. And we had the helicopter nationals here at the field. They also had a trial for the quarter midgets races out here. The actual races were held in Lake Charles. So my dream is to not be flying in a cow patty had really made a significant change in my life
And many others too.
and many others.
Well, thank you.
The parish was mowing our grass. The parish was paying our light bill. The parish was doing a lot for the club because this property was had, and I still got the original lease letter where they canceled it, but we had a member, and I'm not going to mention his name. Everything that I worked to get, he worked to take away from the club. So
Yes.
we lost. Well, when I sold me and my wife separated. She wanted her half of the money for the property. So I told the club, I said, you have the property appraised, and my wife is going to pay you half of the appraised value, and my half I donate to the club. So we done that, then we had to move our electricity from Hinch Road, had to move it around here on the north end. Well, when we done that, we had to pay a $10 inspection fee to the parish to come out and inspect our electrical hookup. Our members went to the parish, demanded that $10 back to the club. That's when the parish said, we ain't paying your light bill no more. We ain't cutting your grass no more. We have canceled the lease. Everything they had spent $32,000 getting us up at that point. We don't want nothing back. We donated it all to the club. We've had 4 nationals, 3 times helicopter nationals was held right here at this field. We've had people from Germany, from all over the world that has flown out here. Most people don't have any idea what has transpired at this flying field since 1971.
Could you imagine that it still be just as what I would call thriving today in 2025?
Well, yes and no. When me and my wife split up and I donated my share of the property to the club, there was 2 club members that was very highly upset because I didn't put the property in an individual's name rather than the club name. And my response to that was, I hope when I'm dead and gone, the club will still have a place to fly. It won't be under control of one person. It's going to be under control of many. And if a club ever goes defunct, none of the club members will profit from it. It has to be sold at a public auction, and the money donated to a charity organization.
That's very thoughtful. Very thoughtful.
Now I have all that in writing, and I don't know that that would hold up in court today, but I do.
It's the idea. Okay. What was your worst experience flying RC planes, helicopters?
The only real bad experience I've ever had. Most of your modelers, in my opinion, are super good people. In 1975, I think it was, I went to a helicopter fly-in Laurel, Mississippi, and there was a mid-air collision of two helicopters. And this guy from New Orleans made the comment he was all upset, wanting to fight everybody because the other guy had invaded his territory. Well, it's open sky. Who's to say that he didn't invade their territory? But that's my worst experience. The same guy, he came to one of our helicopter fly-ins here, I think in November of that year, him and his wife. I let him and her stay at my house in a bedroom. And modelers working in my shop that night, and a couple of guys out flying U control by the street lights. This man was complaining about all my noise, and I told him, I said, the best thing for you to do is pack your bag and you go get you a motel where it's nice and quiet. And I've never seen the man again since I get my work experience.
We got some weather coming in. We're probably going to have to do this in two parts.